sponsors did not influence the scientific planning committee selection of speakers, panelists, moderators, or topics. Sponsor promotional materials were included in the accompanying ebook, which hopefully you've all seen, and will be included in the summit consistent with the guidelines of the University of Toronto. A separate satellite session followed the summit yesterday, featuring representatives from sponsoring organizations.
Thank you. We gratefully acknowledge the support of our sponsors. Our gold sponsor, Vertex. We have our silver sponsor, Tracy. And we have our bronze sponsors, Pfizer and Global Blood Therapeutics.
Thank you, Karen. We also wanted to highlight 3 ongoing studies related to sickle cell disease. We heard in many of the presentations yesterday about how there's a disproportionately low number of published works on sickle cell disease. This is an opportunity to change that. You'll find information about these studies in your ebook. And now I'm pleased to introduce Ms. Jenny Gumbs. Ms. Gumbs is a former diplomat accredited to Canada, proudly serving her community while fulfilling a varied and challenging mandate. She's been involved and continues to serve in several community organizations, including as honorary co-chair of the University of the West Indies Toronto Benefit Gala, president of Tropicana Community Services. She's a trustee of the National Scholarship Fund of the Black Business and Professional Association, and also sits on the board of Tarragon Theatre. A committee member of the Seromar Immunity Project, a research study that uses seroprevalence to understand the extent to which the Black community is impacted by COVID-19. She also serves as a community member of Canada's Vaccine Confidence Advisory Network. She's the recipient of several community recognition awards, a testament to her unwavering commitment to community building and uplifting, including the Harry Jerome Award for Advocacy, the Sickle Cell Awareness Group of Ontario Award of Excellence, the Grenada Consul General Independence Award, and she was one of the 100 accomplished Black Canadian women listed in 2016. A graduate of Ryerson University, she serves on the advisory council for the Department of Public Administration and Governance at the Toronto Metropolitan University, and is also the recipient of a University Alumni Award of Distinction. She has been a passionate supporter of the sickle cell community for many years, supporting the Grenada Sickle Cell Association, the Sickle Cell Awareness Group of Ontario, and is a past chair of the Sickle Cell Disease Association of Canada. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Jenny Gumbs.
Thank you. And a good morning and welcome to the second day of the SCARGO's 2022 Sickle Cell Summit, delivering equity in sickle cell disease, lessons from the pandemic. What an inspiring and exciting 2 days, sharing information, being empowered by members of the sickle cell community and partners. I wish to acknowledge the distinguished speakers, sponsors, patients, advocates, the SCARGO team, indeed, everyone who are engaged and are part of this fight against sickle cell disease. It is with eager anticipation we embrace this second day of the summit and look forward to a day that will inspire and re-energize us all for the ongoing battle. I promise to be brief because today you are promised a full and enriching program. But I wish to talk about a sickle cell story that some of you may have heard me speak of before. I think it is important because for me, it inspires hope when considering how far the study of this disease and the medical breakthroughs to date It's encouraging to know that we have the commitment of doctors, big farmers, and so many influential stakeholders who are in this fight with us, and things can only get better. I was so fortunate to meet the late Colin Richards. He's a journalist, he was a journalist, a historian, who had much interest in the challenges of the sickle cell community and served as a champion in bringing awareness of the disease. Through his research, he discovered that Grenada was the birthplace of a local dentist, Walter Clement. He was there during 1884 and 1916, a man who today name is largely forgotten, but whose medical condition was responsible for the identification and discovery of sickle cell disease. It is said in the late 1904, Walter Noel left Grenada for the United States with plans to begin studies at the Chicago College of Dental Surgery. On his arrival, before he could continue his journey, he had to be treated for severe skin lesions, pains in his limbs and joints, and shortness of breath. In analyzing Noel's blood samples, doctors noted that the red blood cells, instead of being round, were elongated and sickle-shaped. The initial report on this blood phenomenon was given the name Herrick syndrome, named after one of the research doctors. In 1910, Dr. Herrick, assisted by Dr. Irons, prepared a paper on Herrick syndrome for the Archives of Internal Medicine, recognizing and what may be arguably regarded as discovering the very first debilitating illness. Still, it was not until 1922, a century later, after considerable further research, that Dr. Vernon Mason specifically named the disease sickle cell anemia. Of course, by then, Mr. Clement Noel had succumbed, and he actually died in 1916. Now, today, sickle cell disease is known to be an inherited blood disorder in which the sickle shape of the red blood cells causes obstruction in the flow of the blood and can leads to oxygen deprivation. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished panelists, stakeholders, friends, advocates, any activity aimed at developing relief to patients, providing education and empowerment to the patients and families affected by sickle cell disease is welcomed and encouraged. Additionally, it is imperative that we remain engaged and focused in promoting the search for a cure of this debilitating illness, while providing these services that will assist patients and families in coping with the disease. I convey heartfelt thanks to all of our supporters, clinicians, researchers, sponsors, and volunteers for the generosity. And I urge you to consider how others in your network may be engaged and influenced to join in this fight. I wish you all the best for today. I know yesterday was a really exciting and fulfilling day. And today, again, I wish you all the best for a productive and enjoyable day of inspiration and renewal. Thank you, and all the best.
Thank you so much, Jenny, for such a warm welcome. And again, to help us be inspired and have an open mind to what we'll learn throughout the morning.